Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an update for my unused palettes of 2022. I filmed that video in November of 2022. It was the first video for Vlogmas on December 1st. I showed you all the palettes in my collection that I had never used before, of which there were 19 palettes, and I promised in that video in 6 months I would declutter anything I still had not used. I honestly kind of forgot about this video, and then as I was just kind of like looking at my past videos and preparing content, I noticed I did not do that, and we are now 7 months past. I have decluttered some, I've used a lot, and if you guys remember, I had a lot of eye irritation issues at the beginning of the year and was not really wearing eyeshadow, so I'm breaking my promise and I'm not decluttering every single item that's still here, but I have been on an eyeshadow palette no-buy this whole year so far, so I feel like I've broken the cycle, if that makes sense. I don't want to ramble on too much. I'm going to go through all 19 palettes that I shared with you, let you know if I decluttered them, if I still haven't used them, if I have used them a lot, and then I will share with you the palettes that came in from when that video was filmed to now that are still unused. So not every palette I've received since November of 2022 entering my collection, but the ones that are still unused. So we will end the video with my current unused palette collection. I hope that makes sense. We're just going to go in the order that I did that video. I started off that video with 3 palettes. I'm only showing 2 here. So the Alamar Spanglish palette, that was the oldest unused palette in my collection at the time of that video. I did find a new home for that with one of my friends, so that has been decluttered. Next, I have my Ace Beauté Vintage Dawn palette. I have used this, as well as my ColourPop Going Coconuts. I have also been using this palette, so starting off strong. I'm going to try not to ramble on a ridiculous amount. You'll kind of see my piles as I form them, so those 2 I have used from the 3 oldest palettes that were in my collection. Then I went into like a ColourPop segment. I next have my ColourPop So Very Lovely palette, which I still have not used. Why not? I literally have no excuse because this is a palette I wanted so badly. It's just the colors I have been wanting to reach in here for. I've been panning in other palettes or in projects or whatever, which I need to stop doing that. That was kind of the point of doing this video the first time, and I unfortunately still have not reached for this, nor have I reached for my Cherry Crush. This is a monochromatic palette with like a pink column, a red column, and a berry purpley kind of column. I think this is so beautiful. I think I could get use out of both of these this summer if I put my mind to it. Where am I going to start my unused palette pile? Maybe here? I kind of want you guys to be able to see them a little bit but not take over the screen. I still have not used either of my ColourPop Hello Kitty collab quads, but you will have seen in my recent Shop My Stash, I'm stumbling over my words, I actually pulled these in that Shop My Stash, so by the time this video goes up, I may have already used these or will be soon. So these are kind of next up to be used, but currently they are unused. I shared 2 other quads in like not themed quads. Hold on a second. In that video, I had Cream Soda and Mocktail. I gave Cream Soda to my cousin who wears very neutral, beautiful makeup. I thought I wouldn't get enough use out of Cream Soda, but I did decide to keep Mocktail because it has these really rich reddish neutral shades, and I have used this. I had 2 Zodiac quads I had not used still at that time. I have 3 quads in total of the Zodiac ones. I have used Head Capricorn in Charge. It is this cool toned neutral palette. And I still have not used Never Tore Us Apart. I meant to pull this out in the fall and I just didn't get around to it, but I still really want to be using this. Next, I shared my e.l.f. chocolate mint quad that I bought for my birthday in 2021 and had still not used at the point of December 2022. That is just sad, but I have to say I have made this a priority to use some this spring because I really wanted to get use out of this mint shade specifically. I think the quality in here is good, great. I don't know. I liked it a lot. I liked it almost as much as ColourPop, and for being so affordable, I'm pretty happy with that. I really, really love this light pink shimmer, which I thought would be like almost like my least favorite shade in this palette, but I had a great time using this. I next shared my Natasha Denona Jubilee 5 pan. I actually do still have that within my house, but I am sending that to my friend Sam, so I have it packed up in bubble wrap and stuff. I just have not brought it to the post office yet, so I'm going to count that one as a declutter. Next, I have my ABH Norvina Volume 3 palette. If you follow my project pans, you will know that I've used this over 10 times now because I was working specifically on this shade, but I've used a ton of other shades in this palette. This is a lot of fun to have out in the spring and early summer, so I've used this one quite a lot. I'm gonna have to put this one under my pile of used palettes. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to use my Passion in Paris palette from BH Cosmetics. I really wanted to use this in the winter, but I was just not wearing eyeshadow because my eyelids kept swelling. And I had like an eczema or some sort of reaction I was having for quite a few months there. I still want to use this palette so bad, but all these really deep, rich tones I'm just not really in the mood for at this current time, but hopefully soon. I shared two Juvia's Place palettes in that video. The first was the Mini Berries palette. I have decluttered that one, but I did keep the Magic Mini palette, and I have used this, and I created a really beautiful look with it. I'm super happy with the mix of cool tones and warm tones at the top. I love this pinky shade up here and this purpley one. I had fun with, I think I created one or two looks out of this palette so far, but I have used it. I had two more palettes to share with you from that original video. My Nomad Snow Lodge Whistler whatever palette. I have used this one a lot. I used it through the winter, well, up until recently, really, because it took me a long time to get my usage on it, but I had a great time. There are a lot of shades in here I really, truly love a lot, and I'm happy I got use out of this. And then the last palette I had to share with you from my original video was my Tarte Sunrise 9 pan palette I got in a BoxyCharm, and I have decluttered that one as well. So out of the 19 palettes I shared with you in December, I have already decluttered 5, and I have used 8 of those palettes. So that means there were only 6 palettes rolling over. So if I were being true to my promise, I would be decluttering all of these, but I'm excited for all of them still. And because I lost probably 3+ months of eyeshadow wear, normal eyeshadow wear, like I'd let my eyes heal a little bit, wear eyeshadow for 2 days and be right back at square one, which was probably really stupid of me. But I just don't want to. You can call me a liar if you want. These two will be getting used within the next week, or maybe by the time you've already seen this video, and that will leave 4 to use. So I think I can get my butt in gear and use these, but more importantly, as I mentioned in my introduction, I feel that I have like corrected this behavior a bit with only not having bought eyeshadow for over 6 months for starters. I did an eyeshadow no buy, and then anything that came in PR, I made sure to use right away. Let's just get into from December 1st or the end of November, whenever I filmed that. There are some palettes that have entered my collection that I still have not used. Let's just get into those because I'm rambling. First, I have my Alter Ego Shadow Kiss palette. I got a really large, very generous PR package from Alter Ego at the end of last year. I've used everything out of that PR package except for this palette, and they have continued to send me PR in 2023, which I'm so grateful for. I do have a code with Alter Ego if you're interested. This palette is inspired by the Natasha Denona Glam palette, so a cool tone neutral palette, and I just simply haven't had a chance to yet. It is something I still do want to use. I do love cool tone neutrals. I have quite a few palettes that resemble this in my collection, so I am still excited to get use out of this, but I was more excited about the other palettes they sent me, and then with the start of project panning and stuff for the year, I just haven't got a chance to use this yet. I made a ColourPop order on Black Friday of last year. I bought the Not a Box of Chocolate palette for a certain video that I just never didn't get around to. It was going to be Samantha March's favorites. I was doing that series for a little bit and bought this palette for that. Also hoping that this would like replace my Too Faced chocolate bar palette because mine is super old and I just haven't had time yet. And then I bought a mystery box within that order, and I got these two palettes in there that I still have not used, and both of these would be really great for summer, so I should get use out of them ASAP. I have Cabana Club, and Malibu Barbie. Both of these are stunning, and I definitely want to get use out of all of these. And lastly, I was so surprised to win these Odin's Eye Christmas palettes last year. I was absolutely shocked and floored, and I was so excited for them, but they arrived like well after Christmas, which I know sounds silly, but that's just a very busy time for me. Then I had all my eye irritation issues, and then I just felt like the moment had passed to really get a lot of use out of these. So I will definitely be pulling these out next winter. I think they're so beautiful, and Odin's Eye is one of, or maybe even my favorite eyeshadow brand. I love their mattes, I love their shimmers, I love that they include different textures in their palettes. I think the artwork that they include on their palettes is absolutely beautiful, and I'm so excited to use these. So these are my current unused eyeshadow palette collection. 6 of them were rollovers from my previous video, and then we have 6 new ones, but none of these are from 2023, which I'm very pleased with. I just wanted to come back and update this video and kind of explain my thoughts, see how much progress I made, and I'm honestly happier with this. So I now have 12 palettes unused in my collection, whereas in my first video I had 19, and I feel that I've corrected the behavior. You can let me know if you agree or disagree with that. And yeah, I just wanted to give this an update. I don't really have that much of a conclusion for this, except for this is my palette pile of shame, if you will. You'll have to let me know if I should do the Samantha March video, or if you would like to see any of these in action in a certain video. I am still planning to do a new Oh the Shame, in which I wanted to use the oldest per category that's been in the drawer of shame, if that makes sense. So that would be the So Very Lovely palette I'd be using for that. Anyways, I'm rambling. I don't know what else to say for this video. This is embarrassing. This is like peeling back the veil of my makeup drawer of shame and opening up myself for judgment, but that's okay. You'll have to let me know if you also have unused palettes in your collection to make me feel better. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!